Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 18 on logic. In lecture number 17, we have introduced principal disjunctive normal form, and in this lecture we are going to discuss the method of finding principal disjunctive normal form of a given formula. We just recall the definition of principal disjunctive normal form, which we can shortly write as pdnf. So we know that if we have two statement variables p and q, then we can write different conjunctions of p and q in this way: p and q, p and negation q, similarly q and p, and q and negation p. So we do not allow p and its negation and q and its negation. We do not allow these types of conjunctions, that is variable with their negations, and these four conjunctions for these two variables are known as mean terms. And principal disjunctive normal form is nothing but disjunction or sum of mean terms. Disjunction of mean terms, that is disjunction of any of these four mean terms. There may be disjunction of one mean term, two mean terms, three mean terms or all mean terms, but we are considering disjunctions of mean terms only as a principal disjunctive normal form. So there are two methods for finding principal disjunctive normal form. First one is using truth table and another is using basic logical equivalences. And in this lecture we are going to discuss the method using truth table for finding principal disjunctive normal form. So we understand the method with the help of this example. Suppose we want to find out principal disjunctive normal form of this statement formula. Then first we have to construct the truth table for this formula, and we have discussed in earlier lectures how we can construct the truth table for a given formula. So we will find out truth table for this statement formula, and we remember that this conditional statement is false when first statement, that is p, is true and q is false. If p is true and q is false, then only we consider truth value of p implies q as false. In all other cases, truth value is t. So first we write down the truth table or truth values for each of these variables. We know that different possibilities for two statement variables are t, t, f, f, and here we write alternately true and false. These are the four different possible combinations for truth values of two variables. Now this p implies q is false when p is true and q is false. So in first case p is true and q is true, therefore this is true. In second case p is true and q is false, therefore this is false. Here p is false, so don't worry, we will directly write down truth value as t. The truth value of p implies q is false if p is true and q is false. In all other cases we consider truth value of p implies q as true or denoted by capital T. Now how to write down principal disjunctive normal form? So after writing the column for given formula in the truth table, we concentrate on the truth value t in that column. We are interested in the row for this formula in which truth value is true or denoted by capital T. So now for corresponding to this truth value t, we will write down the mean term for which we obtain truth value t. So here we can see p is true and q is true, and if I consider p and q, then its truth value is t. Here truth value of p implies q is true, and corresponding to these two variables p and q, we have to consider that mean term for which we obtain truth value as true. Now here p is false, therefore we will consider negation p, so that negation p becomes true, and q is true here, so here I will write negation p and q. Here we have truth value true and corresponding truth values of p and q are false, therefore we will consider negation p. If p is false, negation p is true. Similarly, if q is false, negation q is true. So we have to write down mean terms in such a way that their truth value is true, and we will write down mean terms corresponding to those rows in which we have truth value of given formula as true. After this, the principal disjunctive normal form will be the disjunction of these three mean terms. So now the principal disjunctive normal form of p implies q is, we will consider disjunction of these three mean terms p and q, or negation p and q, or negation p and negation q. So using truth table we can easily decide the principal disjunctive normal form of a given formula. We repeat again. First we have to construct the truth table for a given formula. After that, corresponding column of given formula we have to concentrate, and in that column we have to concentrate on those rows where truth value is capital T, and then we will write down the corresponding mean terms in such a way that those mean terms are also having truth value true. So in first row p and q are true, therefore we are considering p and q here. We know that p and q is true if and only if both are true. Now corresponding to this truth value, p is false and q is true. So if I consider p and q, then that is going to be false because p is false. So instead of p I will consider negation p, so that this becomes true. And here we have both are false, therefore we have taken their negations joined by AND operator, and whatever mean terms we obtain corresponding to truth value t of a given formula, we will consider disjunction of those mean terms, and we will be able to determine principal disjunctive normal form of a given formula. And we know that principal disjunctive normal form is always in disjunctive normal form. So if you are asked to find out disjunctive normal form also, then also you can write down this form. We consider another formula. Here we have to determine the principal disjunctive normal form of p or q. So first we write down the possible combinations for p and q. For p we write down true, true, f, f. Here we write down alternately true and false, and we know that p or q is true if at least one of p and q is true. Here both are true, therefore this is true. Here p is true, therefore here we have true. Here q is true, therefore this is true. Here both are false, therefore p or q is false. Now we have to concentrate on those rows in which p or q is true. So these are the true values of p or q. Now corresponding to this true value, we have p is true and q is true, therefore we write down mean term as p and q. Now corresponding to this truth value, p is true, therefore we write p, and q is false, So we write negation q, which becomes true. Corresponding to this, p is false, therefore we consider negation p, which becomes true when p is false. And here q is true, therefore we keep q as it is, and we need not write mean term corresponding to this. And after that, the principal disjunctive normal form of given formula, which is p or q, is nothing but disjunction of these three mean terms p and q, or p and negation q, or negation p and q. And we can write in this way also: p or q is logically equivalent to p and q, or p and negation q, or negation p and q. So you can see it is very easy to write down the pdnf or principal disjunctive normal form, and you can write down this for disjunctive normal form also. If you are asked to find out disjunctive normal form, then you can write down principal disjunctive normal form also, if you are not comfortable with the methods of writing disjunctive normal form. This is another formula for which we will try to write down pdnf. So here again we write down different possibilities: true, true, false, false. Here true, false, true and false. Here we have p and q. So p and q is true when both are true. So here p and q both are true, therefore this is true. Here q is false, therefore this is false. Here p is false, therefore p and q is false. Here both are false, therefore p and q is false. And here we have to consider negation of p and q, that is negation of all these truth values. If I have t, I will write f. If I have f, I will write true. Now we will concentrate on those rows for which this negation p and q is true, and for this row p is true, therefore we write p, and q is false here, so we write negation q. Now corresponding to this, p is false, so we write negation p. Q is true, therefore we write q here. And corresponding to this, both are false, therefore we write negation p and negation q. And finally the principal disjunctive normal form is disjunction of all these three mean terms p and negation q, or negation p and q, or negation p and negation q. So this is the method of writing principal disjunctive normal form of a given formula using truth table. And here we have considered only two variables p and q, but suppose we have three variables p, q and r, then also we can use truth table and we can write down the required principal disjunctive normal form. So for three variables we will discuss in next lecture. Thanks for watching.